Fools fool you, so do you, and lose dudes that want you to lose. So X can use you as a stat, but they have been wrong. You are not defined by just your skin tone.
Welcome to 3 Count Commentary. So today's word of the day is professionalism. I would spell it, but I don't want to be condescending. What we're talking about today is 2 subjects I do not give a damn about on their own, but when you put them together, they create a very interesting subject. The 2 subjects that I don't care about that's been burning up on the internet that I feel if you put them together are worth talking about is Mustafa Ali not being released from WWE when he wants to be, and Lio Rush being very quietly told his contract will not be renewed, even though he's already been off TV for over a month. And he still has about 2 or 3 weeks left on this contract. He will not be a free agent until February the 14th. So here is what made me decide to do this video. Because I don't care about these subjects. There are a series of tweets that were made that I thought were very good points that kind of tied these 2 issues together. Someone named Christian Miracle at Miracleman, MARACLEMAN on Twitter. He says, only hypocrites lash out at Lio Rush for calling out his boss, but encourage Mustafa Ali to do the same about his boss. Now, there has been all of this nonsense on the hashtag Free Ali, as if anybody actually cares about Mustafa Ali. I'm over all of the fake fans who supposedly care so much about this guy. But so there was a trending tab, especially during SmackDown, it was Free Ali. Here's the thing. Sure, Mustafa Ali should have been released. I will agree with that. But when you have wrestling journalists like David Bixenspan who are out here suggesting that Ali do something stupid to get himself fired, as opposed to, sued, it's very strange that people think that Lio Rush is a bad guy. Lio Rush called out his boss for calling out someone else. And now people are counseling Mustafa Ali to do the same thing. Here's another tweet that I found that I think encapsulates my view of this. Somebody said, so it's, I don't see what the @ is, but it's Sayuri Namba Reacts. It says, weird how a lot of people calling Lio Rush unprofessional for calling out his boss also seem to be the ones telling Mustafa Ali he should publicize the details of his fight with McMahon, isn't it? They've been doing this all the time. They do this literally all the time. All the shoot interviews and podcasts in the world, they suggest all the time, talent need to stand up for themselves. Talent need to stand up for something. They need to say what's on their mind. They need to go and tell their bosses, yada, yada, yada. So Lio Rush did just that. And he ended up getting his contract. Well, it didn't get ended. But he's told, stay at home. We don't need you for over a month. And now everybody's on Twitter saying that, oh, poor Lio. Sucks so bad that he was sitting at home for over a month. And now he won't be able to, he's not be under contract anymore. He was such a great wrestler. And then other people, mostly AEW fans, Lio Rush is ungrateful. Lio Rush is ridiculous. Lio Rush is just going to retire again anyway. Look, we knew Lio wasn't going to stay. Again, AEW has been in existence for 3 years. This is Lio Rush's 2nd run in AEW. Remember, he was there before. He injured himself and disappeared. Then he came back. He was still wrestling during that time, and then he supposedly retired. And then he came back, and then he got into it with Tony Khan. Then he apologized, and now he's going to be gone. Now, since I'm already on the subject, is what Tony Khan did to Lio Rush wrong? I say he should have done it a long time ago, and he was being nice by letting his contract expire. He should have fired him. In this business, when you're an independent contractor, when you're anybody who works with other people, professionalism is a number one thing. And to be quite honest, I think the professionalism in wrestling got thrown out of the goddamn window into the meat grinder decades ago with all the shoot interviews and all the, the kayfabe commentaries and all that shit, I would never have hired anybody who ever talked to Sean Oliver. Straight up, I never would have given him a job. If you can't keep your fucking mouth closed about stuff that goes on in the locker room, about stuff that, is damaging to people's careers and reputations and lives and stuff like that, you should not be in wrestling. I mean, kayfabe, I know that it was dead to a degree, but still there are things that you should not share and things that you should not be talking about and things that you should not do. And it became pretty regular for the boys to just go out there and spill the beans. They would go work for somewhere for 2 weeks or whatever and then have 6 hours of commentary about what other people think and what was going on and calling people names and, this, that, and the third. And you would just kind of sit back and be like, wow, these dudes are so gossipy and so stupid. And it's just fans gobbling it up, not really caring who's going to be harmed, whether this shit is even true. And that's the weird thing. Like, I really paid attention. I saw an interview with Sean Oliver, which is very interesting that I saw somebody interviewing him. And this is what really it kind of made me laugh, but it kind of made me cringe at the same time. He said clearly out of his mouth, he did not care whether anything that those people said that he interviewed was true or not. His job was to provide entertainment. He only cared about entertainment. He didn't care about whether that shit was true or not. So he paid people to sit down and shoot the shit with him. Whether they lied, exaggerated, or whatever, he didn't care. As long as you bought the DVD or watched it on YouTube or whatever, he did his job. So now you have people believing shit that they saw on kayfabe commentaries without even thinking that shit could probably be a lie. And they are perpetuating this stuff, period. Now, what does this got to do with Lio Rush and Mustafa Ali? Well, when you have people publicizing their problems, they always are clearly going to babyface themselves. I've never heard anybody cut a promo on somebody and say, well, it was my fault. I was being a dickhead, but yada, 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 yada. It's almost always, this dude is a complete and total douchebag. He's an asshole. He doesn't know how to do this. He doesn't know how to do that. He's the horrible. He's the worst. Whatever. And if you're in any way milquetoast, like some of the most recent WWE releases have been pretty milquetoast. Karrion Kross, Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson. A lot of those people have been pretty milquetoast. They don't get the big ordeal. Nobody cares what they think. Case in point. How many times have you seen Scotty 2 Hottie's name come up since he left NXT? And all of a sudden, everything negative about NXT is being posted because it's all coming from Scotty 2 Hottie, who got upset and left. All right, so I read to you when I did my NXT review on, the Tuesday the 18th, that there was another guy who was there who said, oh yeah, Triple H was 100% in on NXT 2.0. He was there in the meetings all the time. It didn't seem like things were being taken from him anyway. It seemed like everybody agreed. This was the vision. This is what they wanted to do. Yada, yada, yada. And you didn't see that interview being spread around anywhere. And that guy did get fired too. He got fired. He didn't voluntarily leave like Scotty 2 Hottie did. People want to pass around negativity. And in doing so, they don't care if it actually damages you or not. So you got Mustafa Ali. He's in this really crazy situation where he wants to get released from WWE and they won't let him. So now you have devils on his shoulders whispering in his ear that he should do unprofessional, untoward things. Things that he probably see himself as being above. And he's probably not reading that stuff anyway, to be quite honest. But let's say that he is. And you have blue check marks, people who have hundreds and thousands of followers, whose likes and retweets or whatever is in the thousands, telling you to do ignorant shit. Like, say this and say that, or do this and do that to get fired. As if that's not a reflection of you as an adult, as a man who can't handle his own business. That's why going public is the problem. Lio Rush, perfectly fine to be upset at Tony Khan. When he made it public is when Tony Khan is like, oh, you embarrassing me. He has every right to fire Lio Rush. And that's why I say he should have fired him. Not told him, we're not going to renew your contract. No, you should have fired him. Should have told that dude, you're not welcome at Dynamite Wednesday. Whatever dates we had on you, cancel them. We're done here. If you think I'm a racist, we're done here. Why would you want to take my paychecks? What's up with that? Why would you even want to take paychecks from somebody you thought was a racist? This kind of stuff, this unprofessionalism, it's embarrassing. It truly does make wrestling look like it's a scumbag business. It makes it look like a business where people are constantly stabbing each other in the back, which is what it is. You know, it's not a lie. I've seen more than enough shoot interviews of everybody. Hell, even Bruno. Everybody cutting each other down, running each other down, spreading rumors and spreading gossip, and then just Sean Oliver, he's the Joker in this situation. He just sits back, laughs, and collects the money. Is it true? I don't know. He doesn't tell you that he doesn't think the shit is true. He doesn't tell you. He created his own version of kayfabe. So you got people mining these DVDs for factoids in order to cancel people, or for factoids for information. Shit might not even be real. And now they're trying to do it in real time on Twitter. Say this, say that. Here's what you should do. Instead of saying, hey, it sucks that Mustafa Ali can't get released, and it sucks that Lio Rush got fired, but I understand both situations. I understand Mustafa Ali signed a contract that he was going to be in WWE for X amount of time. WWE don't have to use him, but they got to pay him. So ultimately, he's going to get paid against his will. It sucks. But, you know, it is what it is. It sucks that Lio Rush got fired. He had every right to stand up to Tony Khan if he felt like Tony Khan was doing something wrong. He probably should have done it behind closed doors and said, look, man, I didn't like that. You know, maybe it ain't got nothing to do with race. It may just have something to do with, you know, Big Swole being somebody either he knows, respects, or just, I wouldn't like it if anybody did that to a fellow performer or a peer, which is how I would take it. I wouldn't even take it like, you know, skin color. Tony Khan could have said the same thing about Peter Avalon, and I still would have been like, damn, that's fucked up. Why would you do that? Why would you out this guy and just say, well, I didn't think your wrestling was good enough? Like, and then, of course, we know Tony Khan was lying because he had been, you know, he had been copping pleas for Big Swole all of 2019 when he signed her. 2020 and everything. He was talking about how good she was and how much she was improving and all this garbage. And then out of nowhere, he decided, oh, her wrestling not good enough anymore. The standards changed. You know? We can look at things with a little bit more nuance, but ultimately, the performers are responsible for themselves. They have to be. They have to be their own advocates. They have to be their own spokesmen. They have to do this for themselves. Lio Rush damaged his reputation routinely for all the stuff he did in WWE, for the constant retirements and coming back, for all the stuff that he's done. This is Lio Rush damaging his reputation once again with the AEW stuff. Mustafa Ali has a positive reputation. Why would he want to damage his reputation by spreading gossip, listening to losers like David Bixenspan, and going out here and basically trying to torch WWE while still collecting WWE paychecks? Do you think that somebody else is going to sign him after that? Again, people do pay attention. You see, ACH didn't show up in AEW, did he? You know, sometimes guys do stuff that is so foul and so screwed up in one place, and then they don't get hired somewhere else. Almost nobody is that talented that you have to deal with their bullshit. You know, and Mustafa Ali to me is doing the right thing. You know, people are looking at him like the babyface. He's being done wrong here. You know, keep it to yourself. Whatever it is, keep it to yourself. At least for right now. No doubt somebody's going to coax him and pry stories out of him with a pair of pliers one day. But for the most part, he is in a position where he has the upper hand. He is being professional. Lio Rush was not being professional. Lio Rush was being reactionary. He was being emotional. And what he did was get himself kicked out of probably one of the higher paying jobs that he had. He's not going to be poor and broke or whatever because he still works in New Japan. He's still going to work at Game Changer Wrestling. He's probably he's going to be able to go back to MLW as long as they're still around. Impact is still there. Leo Rush is going to have opportunities. But AEW and WWE are the two biggest wrestling promotions in the world, at least currently. Well, maybe two of the three, because you do have to count New Japan. And he's not in Japan. He's wrestling in New Japan America. And he burned bridges in both places by, being offensive. So you do have to take that into account. Leo Rush is not doing the right things. Even if he's right, his handling of these situations is wrong. Even Mustafa Ali is right, and he's handling the situations correctly. Why all these people are trying to whisper that Mustafa Ali should do something terrible is beyond me. It's because they love the gossip and they like bullshit. They don't really like these guys. They don't really care about these guys. They don't really care about their careers. They don't care if a guy goes out there and torches his own career. As long as they get a couple of minutes of giggling out of it, they don't care. But it is what it is. Let me know what you guys think. Like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys later, man. Peace.